Hi everyone. If you're considering starting an LLC for your business or you already have an LLC, in this video I'm going to show you 8 common tax mistakes that you want to avoid. If this is your first time here, my name is Tasha. I'm a tax strategist, consultant, and business coach, and I help small business owners and entrepreneurs all across the United States to strategize with their taxes and improve their overall business. I offer a few key services which I have outlined in my description box. So if you're like most LLC owners or soon to become one, you probably have a lot of questions about LLCs and how they work. Well, in this video, I'm going to break down 8 of the most common mistakes people make, okay? So make sure you grab your pen and paper, whatever it is you want to take notes with, okay? Whether you're just starting out or you've been in business for a while, this video is for you, okay? Make sure you stay to the end because I saved one of the top mistakes for the last. Okay, guys, so mistake number 1, all right, having too many cash transactions. First of all, if you are a cash-intensive industry, if you're in a cash-intensive industry, you're already a target because they know that you can try to not report all of your earnings. So while it's not illegal to run an all cash business, it's just not the best practice to follow. I would recommend to try and balance it out, if anything, and have some sort of traceable money transactions going on, right? Like sometimes maybe like go ahead and accept some credit cards and pay, or invoice people so that they can pay with their card, all right? And so if you have an online store, this is already automatic, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you are doing cash transactions, make sure you're saving all your receipts and that you're recording all your transactions in your bookkeeping. Okay, guys? So let me remind you that as an LLC owner, you're going to be using your Schedule C tax form as a way to show and prove your earnings, okay? Like your 3 best friends for proving your income is going to be your Schedule C form, your bank statements, and your profit and loss statements, which generates from your bookkeeping, okay? So honestly, if you plan to represent yourself financially strong, especially if you plan to secure a mortgage or establish business credit or whatever, all of this ties in together with these sorts of financial goals. Mistake number 2, not getting an EIN, okay? So there are so many times when I'm on a business consultation and when I ask the business owner if they have a federal tax identification number, their response is no. So this is a huge mistake. Without a business EIN, you're going to have difficulty opening up a business bank account, okay? And even obtaining credit or loans or whatever. All right. Also, without an EIN, if there are tax responsibilities to your business, it will hit your personal Social Security number simply because you didn't get a business EIN. Mistake number 3, not being in compliance as a business owner. Okay. So here's what the IRS expects from us as business owners, okay? First of all, they expect us to treat our business like a business and have a separate bank account for our business transactions, okay? Secondly, they expect us to maintain financial organization such as bookkeeping, all right? Business bank statements is not your bookkeeping, all right? You still have to do bookkeeping, whether you do it yourself or outsource it to someone else. And I realize that QuickBooks is a well-known company and it's not the only bookkeeping platform out there, okay? There's others, and I'll include some links in the description box. There's like Wave Accounting, all right? Wave Accounting is free and it has a lot of similar features and benefits that QuickBooks offers, and there are others. Okay, so another thing is that the IRS expects you to file your business tax returns on time and pay any taxes owed. And if you have employees, you're responsible to maintain employer records. If you're paying people on 1099s or if you have independent contractors, you're supposed to be issuing those 1099 contractors. So basically, there's a lot involved in terms of being in compliance, all right? And these are definitely some of the things that you want to do to make sure you're staying in compliance. Mistake number 4 is letting your LLC go dormant. Okay, so a lot of people create an LLC and then they don't use it, and actually they don't use it at all. They just forget about it or whatever. So, and they're not using it to their potential. So, first of all, they don't use it strategically to add an additional income stream. Secondly, they don't recognize the kinds of tax benefits that they can maximize on by having and using their LLC. So when you let your LLC go dormant, you're making a costly mistake. All right. I especially want to point out that depending on the state that your LLC is registered in, you could be facing some hefty penalties from your state. For example, in California charges a franchise tax fee to LLCs of $800 per year. So if you begin to let that go dormant and a couple of years go by, and then you need to close it out, or if you want to begin using it, you're going to have to pick up and file all of those unfiled years, and all of those $800 are going to add up. So you definitely don't want to just abandon it, okay? So let's go on to mistake number 5. Okay, paying yourself incorrectly. All right, so when I'm doing consultations with clients, a frequently asked question that comes up is, can I issue myself a 1099? The answer is no. Please do not confuse this. First of all, the only people you should be issuing a 1099 to are independent contractors whose services you hired, okay? You yourself cannot issue a 1099 to yourself from your LLC. If you know someone in business who is telling you that they do it all the time, I highly advise you do not listen to this person, because they're giving you misinformation. All right. It's a term that's become pretty popular nowadays, right? So anyway, all right. So I also want to add that you also cannot issue yourself a W-2 unless you have made a tax election with the IRS for your LLC to be taxed as an S or C corporation. Okay. Now let's go on to mistake number 6. Still more, paying yourself incorrectly. Okay. So speaking of paying yourself incorrectly, let's say that you did move forward with the proper steps and elected to be taxed as an S Corp or a C Corp, okay? Now you are supposed to issue yourself a W-2 each year, all right? The easiest way to do this is to put yourself on payroll by using a payroll platform. I've listed a few in the description box. One is called Gusto, one is called OnPay, okay? And so you can use services, or you can do your own if you're, familiar, or if you learn, you can prepare and file your own payroll tax returns and submit your payroll taxes. But it's honestly just easier to use one of these platforms, and anything you pay to them for those services is tax deductible, including the monthly membership fees. I also want to say that, speaking of tax deductions, a lot of people have been asking me about what's deductible. So I highly recommend you get this book called 475 Tax Deductions for Businesses and Self-Employed People. And I included a direct link to the book in my description box. Okay, that book is a book you want to keep handy anytime you want to figure out if an expense is going to be deductible or not. Okay, I think the latest edition is the 13th edition, but all right, so check that out. Okay, now that I mentioned tax deductions, if you do elect to be taxed as an S Corp or a C Corp, the wage you pay yourself is also tax deductible, okay, to your business. So as you see, there are pros and cons to everything. And if you want to put my professional expertise, on this type of thing, you can actually click the link in my description box to book a business consultation. Mistake number 7 is waiting too long to elect taxation as an S corporation. Okay, so when you first establish your LLC, you're automatically taxed as a disregarded entity. And all that means in plain English is that the IRS recognizes you as a sole proprietor, and you'll still be subjected to the same self-employment tax as if you never even set up an LLC. Okay, self-employment taxes are the Social Security tax and Medicare tax you pay on the income you earn, and it totals up to be 15.3% of your earnings. So usually when you begin making a large amount of money in your business, or rather I should say a net profit, I would kind of say maybe a good measuring stick is around $40,000 or more, you might want to consider making the election. All right, but oftentimes LLCs LLC owners wait until it's too long to make the election, and then when it comes time to file the taxes, they're wondering why their tax bill is so high. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot impart on you enough that this is why you need a qualified business consultant, experience with taxation and other areas of business operations in your back pocket so that they can help you make wise business decisions. Some people don't want to pay the fees for these services, but majority of time you're doing yourself more harm than good by not hiring a professional. Guys, please be sure to like this video so that YouTube can push it out to more people. Okay, if you haven't already subscribed, please be sure to do so. Let's go on to mistake number 8, all right? This was the last one that I said I'm saving the biggest mistake for last because it's filing your personal return separately from your business, okay? This is a top mistake that I see so many LLC owners make because I'm a tax strategist to small business owners I still prepare and file taxes, right? So a lot of business owners, they come to me, hey, can you do my business taxes? I already filed my personal taxes. And then I have to tell them, actually, you have to amend, all right, because you were supposed to include the Schedule C form with your 1040. And guys, if you don't know what Schedule C is, I will put a link to my other video that I did teaching you all about Schedule C. I also will include in my description box my Schedule C course, which takes you step by step on how to prepare Schedule C yourself, okay? If you're someone who prepares your own taxes. I share lots of strategies and nuggets of information in that course, so you should definitely check it out. So there you have it. There are a lot of LLC business tax mistakes, but in my professional opinion, these 8 are the biggest mistakes, all right? And I do thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Follow me on my other social media platforms, which you will find in the description box. And if you want to get in touch with me, I've also included that in my description box. I do get a lot of reach out, so I apologize in advance if we don't get to actually connect. All right, stay blessed.